I've worked overseas, first as a banker and then later with the church several times. And so I've seen poverty, I've seen the poor and the needy up close, I've seen and helped in various projects and operations to help relieve some of that suffering. But over the past 5 years, I worked as the director for emergency response, where we worked with emergency projects for natural disasters as well as man-made disasters, and helping the refugees and those who are internally displaced all around the world. It's one of those that gets into your heart, and it's very fulfilling personally to be involved in that. One of the really nice stories that are still very tender in my mind is helping with the refugee situation in Europe. When I first arrived in Europe, we did not have very many contacts there. And I can remember getting on the telephone and calling back to Michelle Houlihan in Denver and asking Michelle if she could please help me with some contact information. And she worked with your folks in Washington, with your international group. And I was able to get contact information and plug into the Red Cross in Rome and in Sweden and Stockholm, in Austria, in Germany, to be able to help those refugees who were streaming across Europe and needed just every type of care that's imaginable.
He and I went to visit one of the refugee camps that was primarily the Yazidi refugees from Iraq, and the people were in some very dire, difficult circumstances. Winter was coming on, and they were living in tents. Even while we were there, it was raining, and there was mud everywhere, there was mud in the tents, and it was getting colder. And as we talked to the leader of the refugee group that was there, he said to us, "Is there nothing that you can do to help us? Because we don't believe that all of our people will survive through this winter with the cold. We have no heat, we don't have adequate blankets or clothing. Is there nothing that you can do?" He came back to the offices, and with a sincere, diligent dedication, he decided we needed to help these people. And he saw that project through until there were approvals given to provide containers that the refugees could live in, that were warm in the winter, that would keep them warm and safe.
The Chile earthquake of 2010, February 2010, was an 8.8 earthquake. It killed over 500 people, mostly from the tsunami. And it was very devastating. And we were able to have trucks rolling down the road Monday morning. And we worked very much on logistics. We involved many of our church leaders, from the women creating blankets.
Bruce was responsible for, with his staff, I think purchasing every bolt of cloth that they could find in the entire country in order to turn it into blankets and provide those to those that were in need. We changed a little bit our philosophy under Bruce, where we used to ship out a lot of things from Salt Lake because we could. But through Bruce, we were able to streamline things to where we purchased locally, avoided some of the shipping costs. And I think his intent was not to minimize the work as much as it was to maximize the relief effort that we could provide in country by doing some of those small changes in process.
Yeah, the fact is that Bruce will probably be uncomfortable with being recognized as a hero. If you were to ask him that question, he would certainly say, "No, I don't believe that I'm a hero." But that's because this has never been about Bruce. This is never about him receiving recognition or honor or praise or glory or anything else for the work that he does. This is just all about Bruce wanting to help people that he grows to love as he works with them, as he observes them, and as he understands the plight that some of them are in. Bruce just wants to reach out and help other people. And so, no, he would not consider himself a hero, although anyone that works with him certainly would.
We couldn't do this work without very good partners who, in many ways, provide the boots on the ground in very difficult parts of the world. It's lifting burdens, saving lives. That's what we're trying to do.